Deepest levels of hell are reserved for those who have been the most evil in the world. That's the place where the most powerful demons gather, and all hell breaks loose. Literally. With the demons endlessly fighting to determine who is the strongest among them, hell is full of fury and might. The great demons Gargus and Balak are two of the strongest of them. However, in this endless fight, it is nearly impossible to say who is the one true winner, the mightiest of them all. The never-ending battles, eternal show of power, would have continued for centuries if he hadn't appeared. He is the Demon Lord, who has frightened the rest of the demons into surrendering and proclaiming him the king who rules over everything in hell. Their ruler rests on his throne, while they kneel before him. Balak finally asks the question that every other demon has. Why does the Lord wish to go back when he has everything in hell? This ruler has a power that no one else has even imagined of having. He has the authority of predation, which allows him to absorb the body and abilities of any demon he touches. That's how he managed to destroy the 7 archdukes who couldn't finish off each other. The Demon Lord roars out. He is fed up with hell, where he has spent 10,000 years. After all, there's slaughter every day, and the same scenery to look at all the time. Who wouldn't get bored? His demon subordinate presents him with the head of Folklore, the biggest faction remaining among the archdukes. The Lord refuses this humble token with unpleasant words. He doesn't want to eat something so hideous. He has already eaten thousands of demons over the years. His taste buds crave a steaming bowl of kimchi stew. Even though the Lord is nothing more than a normal human whose previous place of residence was Korea on Earth instead of hell, that's why he just wants to spend his time reading novels and comics. Hell could have been more pleasant for Kangwoo if he had a loved one. Lilith, the queen of the succubi, is heartbroken to hear the king say that. She is the greatest beauty in hell, making all the demons drool after her. She has given her heart to the Kangwoo and wants to be his queen, keeping all 10 of her eyes to watch over his kingdom. The succubus survives by eating the sexual energy of men, and Kangwoo does not want her to live that long, and she scares him. He has made up his mind to return to Earth, sending a wave of shock to everyone gathered there. His orders alarm Balak. However, he won't take the chance to make his lord repeat his order. He relays the order to prepare the equipment of the 7 archdukes. The dark magician Amon prepares the equipment as Kangwoo says his final farewells. Balak and Lilith get filled with sorrow to watch him go. What is this, a bride's final send-away? Amon instructs Kangwoo to push a great amount of demonic energy into the equipment, which will allow him to break the boundaries of space and time to create a crack in the different dimensions. He channels the energy of 10,000 demons' cores and releases all that energy to create the required crack in the space-time continuum. Amon is fascinated by the immense demonic energy. The 7 pieces of equipment react, one by one, making Amon scream this information to Kangwoo. He is getting closer to home with every passing second. He may not find his friends, family, or lover when he returns back, but he proceeds to go. However, Lilith's pleading cries make him stop, scaring him even more. She tells him that she will follow him to the ends of the earth. Hearing this, he jumps through the dimensional portal, acknowledging the fact that he did not enjoy meeting her. He just wants to get back to the earth he knows. Living in hell for 10,000 years has taken a toll on his mind. He reaches the fissure, ecstatic that he has left hell behind. But his happiness is short-lived because the dimensional defense system gets activated. He doesn't know what to do in this situation. There are warning signs saying that the power of the nucleus is stronger than the limit. With a spark through the Gaia system being overloaded, the whole operation seems to have failed. He grabs the fissure's nucleus with determination and ferocity. His vision goes blank, until he opens his eyes in a forest filled with green trees, where sunlight is streaming in. He doesn't know if this is Earth, but he has to check for any broken bones in his body first. Before he can examine anything, a status window appears before him where he can see all of his strengths, weaknesses, dexterity, and other attributes. He doesn't know what this window means. However, he's astonished to see that all of his powers have been sealed. He hears the rustling of the leaves as a few green creatures charge at him. With the creatures coming at him with all of their strength, he holds off his curiosity by making up his mind to handle them all together. The creatures come in contact with him, so he decides to handle them with the authority of the blade. He cuts down the creatures. Another display tells him that he has eliminated a goblin, the E-rank regular monster. His experience increases, making him reach level 4. He needs more information about the place he has landed on. He uses predation to suck out whatever he needs to know from the fallen creatures. Has enduring hell for thousands of years meant nothing when he can't go back to Earth? Kang Wu hears a distant scream at this point. It must be human. He uses his authority of speed to run towards the source of the scream. He wants to lay his eyes on a normal human who has 2 eyes, 2 hands, and the perfect number of limbs. He has seen monsters and demons with tentacles and multiple limbs for 10,000 years. He spots a girl under a tree, surrounded by armed creatures. He focuses on her and is overjoyed to find out that she has 2 eyes, 1 nose, and absolutely 0 tentacles. He screams with happiness and cuts down the creatures that are about to hit her. He holds out his hand to her and she thanks him by taking it. Finally, not a creature, not a demon, but an actual human. She introduces herself as Han Seola. Not being able to control himself, he directly proposes to her to get married to him. Han is confused by this offer of marriage when they are practically strangers. Kang Wu realizes that he overstepped and apologizes for getting so excited. After introducing himself, her smartphone falls out of her hands onto the grassy ground. Kang Wu sees the square shape and deduces that he really is on Earth. Kang Wu is delighted that they are able to understand each other. Banning the demon language in Hell has really paid off. He taught the demons to use the Korean language so he doesn't forget it. He sees that the year is 2023 on her phone when he hands it back to her. It has actually been 5 years since he fell into Hell in earthly time. Really? He only missed 5 years of Earth time while spending a few lifetimes in Hell? He has to make some small talk with her, so he asks the reason behind her being here. She tells him that she was solo hunting inside of an E-rank gate and was awakened as a player just a day back. None of these words make any sense to Kang Wu. He decides to play along, inquiring about her level. She's level 6 as he finds out. They leave and reach the entrance. Kang Wu is confused to see the blue portal-like gate, just like the one he came through. They enter through the gate, and with a flash of light, he hears shouts of people who are recruiting members for a goblin hunting party. Kang Wu gets teary-eyed watching a bustling society full of humans. All he used to see were creatures crawling at his feet, but now there's an actual community. Seola interrupts him in his emotional moment, inviting him to her house to eat. The duo is interrupted by a couple of guards asking for their player cards. Kang Wu doesn't have such identification, so he decides to bring out his special power, the authority of blind, that manipulates the target's vision according to his will. A very handy power if you ask me. I'd use it all the time. He is allowed to pass through, and they arrive back at Han's house. The apartment building does not have an elevator, but that doesn't matter. Kang Wu loves the smell of old apartments, the narrowness of the stairs, and the sensation of the railings. Kang Wu is certain about a happy future since he has arrived at Seola's house already. When Kang Wu enters Han's house, with his hopes increasing by every passing minute, all of his ideas for future plans have to take a back seat when he finds her mother at home as well. Did she really mean to just have a meal when Kang Wu was already planning on starting a family right here and then? Her mother is thankful to him for saving Seola and promises to fix up something delicious for him. It might not be what he hoped for that night, but at least it's much better than a meal in hell. Kang Wu finds the perfect opportunity to borrow her phone to gather information about Earth. He looks up articles from 2018, which is the year he was sucked into hell. He finds that the 22nd of February 2018 was a day the calamity changed the world. Suddenly, unknown monsters appeared from hundreds of weird gates. The Chinese army was massacred after their firearms proved to be useless against those monsters. The calamity led to the founding of the Emergency Operation World Union, which Korea also joined as the 9th country. That's when the first player appeared in the USA. No one knew who she was, however it led to an increase in the number of players worldwide. They could have been humanity's last hope. Kang Wu recognizes that date. That was the day he got dragged into hell. Maybe he got sucked into one of the many gates that opened that day. He needs more details. But first, he needs to have some real human food, and it arrives at the perfect time. He's almost moved to tears when he finds out that it's kimchi stew for lunch. The way he attacks the stew is enough to tell Seola and her mom that he loves it. What they don't know is that he hasn't had such nice food in millenniums. He thinks back to the time when he had to gnaw on demons in order to survive in hell. Those demons tasted so horrible, it was a wonder he didn't lose his sanity. However, the wish to go home was the only thing that helped him get through hell. He's sobbing while eating his stew, and Seola doesn't believe that the stew is so delicious that it made him cry. He asks for another bowl and attacks it right away. However, his pleasure is cut short by someone breaking down the door. A boy appears inside, screaming at Seola to get out right this instant. Seola is standing in front of the boy, who is reprimanding her for entering the gate on her own. Seola is not ready to back down and listen to him. She yells at him to leave and calls him Hantayun. She threatens him to back off, because she is a full-fledged player now. He starts laughing and mocking her for saying this. He believes she's just a low-level nobody who doesn't know what a real player is. He gets really personal by bringing her dad's death and her mom's low earnings into the middle of the argument. Wow, dude, that is not okay. She does not want to hear this, as she believes he is the reason they have to live like this. He starts dragging her to Andra's guild, but she doesn't want to go to a trash guild like that. She starts struggling against him and bites his hand as her last resort. This angers him more, making him smack her. He knows that Seola will be in a better place if she just becomes his tribute. Her mom gets in the middle, requesting him not to treat Seola this way. He smacks her as well, making her fall down. This guy's a total jerk. Taeyun has his ego inflated because he is a second stage awakener, and considers Seola as a low-level being. He grabs her face, telling her to do as she is told. That's when he hears the slurping sounds. It's a wonder he didn't hear it before. All the chaos has gone down, and Kangwoo is still busy having his stew. The amount of dedication he has is commendable. Taeyun tries to get his attention, but Kangwoo can see nothing but his stew. It's still a better love story between a boy and a stew than what we can see on soap operas. Taeyun throws the bowl away from Kangwoo's hand. This was a mistake. Kangwoo is not happy with his stew being spilled on the floor. Kangwoo sits down, crying for his fallen stew, while Taeyun calls him a beggar, telling him to get up. Kangwoo looks at him, and his inner demon is awakened. How dare he knock over his kimchi stew? Looking at him, Taeyun is not the confident person he was a few minutes ago. Did he really see Kangwoo lose it? He wonders if he has gone insane. Seola tries to interrupt by distracting Taeyun so Kangwoo can run away. However, Kangwoo is really unpleasant and wants his revenge for the stew. Kangwoo starts hitting him left, right, and center, giving him no chance to defend himself or hit back. All of his ego must have blown away in a puff of smoke. In the end, Kangwoo beat him to a pulp with his foot on his head, standing like the champion. Kangwoo does not seem done with him. There is a lot left before he pays for the stew. Taeyun does not understand all of this anger is just for the stew. The word just triggers Kangwoo, making him beat up Taeyun even more. He makes him scream that kimchi stew is a sacred food on the top of his voice. Seola is watching all this with a clueless expression. Taeyun is left wondering who the psychopathic stew lover is after he's done with him. Seola is bandaging up her mother's wounds, while her house is a mess. Taeyun is washing the dishes half-dressed. He wishes he had never met Kangwoo, who was sipping on his drink and the clothes he stole from Taeyun. He lost his dignity in a matter of seconds, didn't he? Taeyun's face looks severely swollen. He doesn't look like he's been treated like this all over a bowl of kimchi stew. He calls Kangwoo Sir, as he doesn't want to upset him anymore. Kangwoo tells him an important life lesson, which is that he should treat his life preciously, since he doesn't know how blessed he is for getting food, sleep, and clothes which he would never get in hell. Taeyun plans to report him to Andras when Kangwoo pulls him over. He uses the authority of fear on him, beginning to threaten his life, as there's no point in keeping him alive. However, he promises he won't kill him. Taeyun gets all kinds of scary demon visions, as if he's in hell. A mark of fear is etched on his soul forever now, and he has become Kangwoo's puppet. Kangwoo starts to think that he needs money on Earth. After all, this isn't hell. He comes across the Wikipedia page of magic power stones, and asks Seola to show it to him. Seola shows him the E-rank stone obtained from the Goblin Hunt. The closer the stone is to black, the higher the rank it is. However, he can't feel any demonic energy after taking it in his hand. It must simply be magic power, since his theory is disproved. What was the demonic energy he felt before? He needs to sell the stone to get some money. Seola offers to take him to the player management office near Seoul Station. She is aiming for the second stage awakening, as she has found an angel in Kangwoo who is here to help her. When she goes to get ready, Kangwoo knows that he doesn't have any intentions of helping her yet. He can't move with someone so weak. It will make his hunting efficiency decrease. He has to be cold-hearted in order to become stronger for survival, just like in Hell. He's gotten out of Hell, but Hell hasn't completely gotten out of him. He is dumbfounded when Seola asks if he has his ID, asking if they can go to the district office first. Kangwoo has his reissued ID on the train, and doesn't like the fact that he got it so easily. He wasn't put on the missing persons list, which means that no one noticed he was gone. It's a bit sad that no one wondered about him in 5 years. His mood is uplifted for a bit when Siola shows him the scenery out the window of the train. Maybe it'll be different now. They arrive at the Seoul Player Management Office headquarters, which is massive. Siola hands him her old phone so they can correspond later. Kang-woo is so happy that he found an angel like her. She leaves to register for the beginner's lecture and asks him for dinner after they're done. 2 days back on Earth and he's already booking dates. Kang-woo goes inside the office and is fascinated. The scale of this place is definitely no joke. Players may be the most important figures in the world now. Kang-woo gets the number 18 in the waiting room, which isn't horrible. He's instructed to wait at the test room by the machine, where he has to listen to a lot of players discussing their stats. He overhears the name of the 5 great guilds and immediately looks them up on the internet. Each guild is made by Korea's top 5 rankers, and Kang-woo thinks he just has to regather his strength to be able to meet them. The player title can help him be even stronger than before. Kang-woo's number is called out, and he is seated in a new room. A girl tells him to put his hand on a ball, which will change color according to his ranking. He thinks that he will come out as too strong. However, all his dreams are shattered when he finds out that he is an F rank. How did that happen? Wasn't he supposed to be a mighty demon lord? He is told that he will receive an E rank player card, and he can only enter the gates of the same rank. However, he needs a guardian signed permission letter if he wants to enter the higher ranked gate. Are his powers so unnatural that they gave him such a low rank? Of course, all of his ex-demon subjects will have a field day if they find out that their lord needs an adult's permission. He learns that he can get his rank upgraded if he goes through the educational route, or submit a certain number of magic stones. Doesn't this count as bribing to raise ranks? Kang-woo receives his E rank card as he decides that he's better off with his current ranking. Maybe he should give up playing after getting such a low rank. The worker at the desk, who is making snide comments about Kang-woo's rank, is shocked to see that the crystal ball turns black after he leaves. The darker the ball gets, the more powerful a player is supposed to be. No other player has turned the ball black. Is Kang-woo better than he thinks he is? Kang-woo is near the gates, where all the players are looking for different parties to join. No one wants a rogue rank, though. Why is everyone so cold towards this rank? He enters the gate alone and is relieved that he hasn't fallen back into hell. He walks a few steps when Mr. Taesu and his party bump into him. Mr. Taesu wants him to join his party and forces him to say yes after getting an agreement from his group members. After a long discussion about Taesu's age, Kang-woo turns down his offer of joining their party. Taesu warns him about the hobgoblin who's a boss monster on a completely different level. Kang-woo thanks them and goes away on his own, since he isn't an F-rank newbie, and works well when he is alone. After tracing the goblins for a long while, he finally finds them and dives right into their group as he is ready for a fight. Kang-woo thinks that fighting all the goblins is a piece of cake, and cuts through them without much effort. He is amazed by such a large group of goblins after fighting off half of them, but he doesn't look done with them, so he vows to enjoy getting rid of them. It is tiring when there's so many of them, but he has dealt with them all, and is satisfied to see that his level has increased as well as his demonic energy. He uses the authority of predation on one of the dead goblins, and senses demonic energy all over his body, which differs depending on when the goblin died. This means he can prey on the monsters and gain demonic energy from them. This is good news, as he can sell the magic stone this way. First order of business is to gather all the magic power stones. How much chicken can he get after selling all these stones? He starts craving chicken and decides to eat it with Han. His dinner plans sound promising until the furious hobgoblin starts charging towards him, and apparently he can control demonic energy. Kang-woo tries to fight off the hobgoblin, however it is way too strong for him. There's a vast difference between both of their physical strength, and he has to keep dodging the powerful punches it is throwing at him. He is bouncing off its armor since his stats are still low. The hobgoblin isn't done with him, and Kang-woo needs to come up with a plan to fight him off. This one is certainly different than the other goblins he just killed. However, Kang-woo isn't as weak as he thinks. The hobgoblin is entertaining his prey, which he declares with a straight attack that makes it fall back. This is the perfect time for him to use the authority of rage, which the goblin imitates. It has taken Kang-woo's bait, as it starts attacking him like a rageful monster. He has more openings to hit it with his disorderly attacks, making Kang-woo's plan work for the time being. Kang-woo is standing beside the helpless body of the hobgoblin, and gets an update about his stats. He has unlocked the higher levels and can absorb demonic energy much faster now. Of course, he tests out his new abilities by absorbing the Hobgoblin's demonic energy. Killing strong monsters is always worth it, obviously. King Wu is a little worried after finding out that his demonic energy has increased a lot more than he expected. Can this be dangerous for him? He realizes that the seal of the 10,000 Demon Core has been restored, which allows him to be able to restore his original powers by just increasing his levels. Today is just a lucky day for him, and he just needs to get to the third awakening at level 20 to achieve his goal. King Wu is finally having his dinner with Han, and chicken is obviously on the menu. He is definitely enjoying his food, while Han asks him about his friends and family. She wants to know him better, and this is an excellent first step in that direction. She offers him her place to stay, after finding out that he has no one in the city, as she is grateful to him for helping her out. He knows that he has to offer her something special in return. Therefore, he gives her the money to help her out with her financial issues. How thoughtful is that? She's really happy with this gesture, and promises to make kimchi stew the next day with even better meat inside. King Wu is already making plans of eating kimchi stew every day at Han's place, and can't hold back his excitement. He asks her about the D-rank gate nearby, and decides to go there as soon as possible to awaken more quickly. Moreover, he doesn't even seem bothered about the lizard men that are rumored to come out of the D-rank gate. What do lizards taste like? That's the only question that seems to occupy King Wu's mind. Han shows King Wu her brother's old room, which is supposed to be his latest abode at her place. He's happy to be back, and being able to sleep in a warm and comfortable bed, it's the best decision he has ever made. The next day, he is at the D-rank gate, and spots the rogue player who is begging everyone to take him with them. Why don't they just bring him along if he's so desperate? King Wu steps on the other side of the gate, and uses the authority of silence to quietly get started. He is interrupted by a party of 3 lizard men, who have bad eyesight, so it is important to approach them quietly. The lizard men look much better than all the monsters back in hell, for sure. He remembers that Han told her that they don't like fire, for which he has the perfect solution, and uses the authority of hellfire. Continuing to burn their life essence with the hellfire, his mind wanders over to Taeyun's guild, which was named after Andros. He can obviously destroy him if he tries to bother King Wu, just like he has dealt with the lizard men, simply and efficiently. King Wu seems to have consumed all of the lizard men's demonic energy. However, he's unsure. He decides to double-check everything, since it's better safe than sorry. His deep thoughts are interrupted by a large party of players, led by Hunjunsi, who clearly doesn't like King Wu and is here to mock him for having no monster corpses around. As their argument gets heated, a fight is about to begin between them, when he reminds King Wu about lizard men who are sensitive to sound. As they listen closely, at least a dozen lizard men have started approaching them. Hunjunsi offers to help him if he gets on his knees and begs for it. However, King Wu is too proud and smart to fall into this trap. Hunjunsi is not aware of the authority of sound, which King Wu uses to divert the lizard men's attention towards his party. They prepare to raise the barrier, as the whole horde of the lizard monsters jump on them. They need to find a quick way out or end up dying in the worst way possible. King Wu climbs on top of the tree to get a full view of Hunjunsi's reaction, while he mocks him and his situation. He doesn't have to worry, since he isn't the one dying right now. He is being protected by the authority of silence, which Hunjunsi is absolutely shocked to witness, as he has never seen such power. Hunjunsi tries to stay silent, while the rest of his party is murdered by the lizard men one by one. His only way out is to beg for King Wu's help, who is enjoying the show and doesn't want to help. He has a smirk on his face when the lizard man tears up Hunjunsi's face as he has fought evil with even greater evil. After the lizard men have taken care of the human party, King Wu used up his special fire abilities to fight them off to increase his levels. With the players' corpses lying there, he tries to use the authority of gluttony to consume their special abilities. However, he finds out that the Gaia system protects all the players from such a power. Doesn't matter to him anyway, since demonic energy is the top priority at this stage. He is glad to find out that the power and quality of the energy has increased significantly, and gets excited about the third awakening. He decides to go on a little killing spree, before finally heading home, as he doesn't look like he's done for the day yet. The next morning, he finishes off the delicious breakfast cooked by Han before going to the gate to hunt. She thinks he's pushing himself too hard. Maybe he should think about taking a break. Han tells him about her classes and is excited about going goblin hunting to level up, as she needs to reach a second awakening. She warns him about cow players around the gates who fake their ranks and attack players. Is this rumor going around because of him? It isn't possible, since he's looked around for witnesses last time. However, he doesn't have time to think about simple rumors, so he gets done with his hunting for the day after entering the gates again. He has reached his third awakening and tests out his powers. It seems like a lot of demon energy is leaking through the broken seal, and he doesn't mind it at all. Moreover, he spots a magic stone and picks it up to find it glowing. Kang Wu's third stage awakening attribute is mana craving, which allows him to absorb demonic energy from the stones. He is pleasantly surprised to see that it gives him the same amount of demonic energy as a monster, so he can double his speed of reaching his goal. However, how will he earn money now since he can't sell these stones? Well, he can think about that when he runs out of his current cash. He is in a mood to test out his attributes a bit more, as it isn't time to go home yet. Using the authority of sky, his wings sprout out, allowing him to fly a bit above the forest. However, all the trees are blocking his view, and he wishes that he could use the authority of observation. Suddenly, he hears a familiar voice and goes over to the source. Looks like Tae-Soo has found himself in trouble with the rumored fake players, who were attacking the rogue player from before. So, he finally found a party and now his own members are attacking him. This guy doesn't look like he has luck on his side. Kang Wu watches from behind the bushes, as Tae-Soo puts up a tough fight against the fake players. It looks like they're preparing to hurt him badly, since they can't kill him. What's the reason behind them holding back, though? On the other hand, Kang Wu is still wondering if he should help him out. Maybe he should make a pros and cons list for this situation. However, he decides against losing more time and interrupts their torture session. The fake players are too confident about being stronger than Kang Wu, and one of them runs towards him to kill him instantly. However, it takes a single punch from him to send this fake player flying away with a beat-up face. He uses the authority of Destructive Void on the other fake player, making him lose on the spot. He wants to know where they got the demonic energy from, as he observed them using it. Did they arrive back from hell as well? Seiyu Taeho, the fake player, tells Kang Wu that they got the demonic energy from the Guildmaster, despite his partner telling him to keep his mouth shut. Apparently, the Andros Guildmaster held a ritual and gave him this power. He wants to know more about the ritual, however, Taeho drops dead in a few minutes. Looks like the Andros Guild is up to no good with these secret rituals. Tae-Soo vows to report the incident with the fake players, and alert the player unit called Horoncorp. Undoubtedly, filing an official complaint is the lawful way to go. However, when has Kang Wu been satisfied with playing by the rules? So, he asks Tae-Soo to not report them, as he wants to deal with the Andros Guild himself. Nevertheless, Tae-Soo promises his services to Kang Wu, as he fell in love with his sense of justice and wants to teach Andros Guild a lesson for their crimes. His passion reminds Kang Wu of his previous sidekick, Balak, from Hell. The rogue player Tae-Yoon also steps up to thank Kang Wu, and promises to repay him somehow, even though he is a useless bandit. Tae-Soo recommends that they should make a party of their own, which saddens Tae-Yoon as he thinks that he is no good when it comes to hunting, since he even got beaten up. Meanwhile, Kang Wu silently observes their conversation, and tries to come up with a way to get out of there before he is blackmailed into forming a party. Before leaving, Kang Wu asks a few questions from Tae-Soo regarding his level and abilities, and realizes that he has a lot more potential than he thought. He has made up his mind to follow Kang Wu, just like Balak, and he isn't willing to let this thought go. Kang Wu accepts him under his wing, and asks him to help Han with her second awakening and form a party with her. They exchange their contact information to stay in touch, as he starts to get moving again. Is he going straight to the Andros Guild now? Kang Wu remembers something, and goes to the other fake player who's lying unconscious to find out some more information. It is revealed that he was going to take Tae-Soo back to his guild as a sacrifice, which makes the guild members more demented than he thought. Kang Wu knows exactly what he needs to do, and has a special favor to ask of this fake player named Chiolo. Chiolo is approached by a man in the alley, asking about Taeho and the sacrifice they were about to bring. He should honestly take a hint after looking at his wounded face that their trip wasn't as smooth as it was expected to be. Chiolo informs them about Taeho's death, and offers an unconscious Kang Wu as the sacrifice for the guild. Taeho's death clearly means that he gets all the demonic energy for himself. However, he doesn't look excited about that. Chiolo quickly leaves from there, using Taeho's death as an excuse for him being scared and confused. This leaves the other man a little shocked about his behavior, but he doesn't consider him important enough to waste any more time with him. Kang-woo is brought to the guild leader as a sacrifice, and he doesn't care about the death of his fake player as long as he gets what he wants. The ritual has started, and the guild leader is eagerly waiting to get more demonic energy for the players, so that he can become a full demon by the end of all these ceremonies. He decides that there will be no baptism today, since Yahello has refused to come, so the sacrifice officially belongs to him now. Eager for all the demonic energy, he starts the ritual and absorbs the energy from Kang-woo's body. After a while, he is shocked to find that he has lasted this long. However, absolutely terrified by the fact that the demonic energy in this sacrifice is too powerful and doesn't seem to finish at all. Why isn't this weird energy stopping? The guild leader has to scream at the top of his lungs to put a stop to the ceremony, after which Kang-woo gets up all fresh, asking for the ceremony to go on. The leader gets extremely angry and tries to attack him, but he gets blocked by the intense demonic energy running through Kang-woo's body. He has never faced an opponent like him, has he? He orders the rest of the guild to attack Kang-woo, but no one is able to put even a scratch on him and gets defeated. They are the most useless guild members ever. The guild leader tries to show off his demonic energy by scaring Kang-woo with hellfire. However, he doesn't know that he is dealing with the person who has ruled hell for generations. Kang-woo has a few tricks of his own to show him, starting off with the intense hellfire that can burn souls. Watching this, the guild leader drops on his knees, calling Kang-woo the great incarnation of Andros. Apparently, he is the chosen one who is supposed to guide them all out of their doomed destinies, and everyone bows down in front of him. Kang-woo is impressed with his timely reaction, and has to give him credit for it too, as he understands his place and is literally begging before him. So, he decides to play along and uses the power of the sky to float above everyone with his wings. He accepts being the great Andros, the king of all demons, which isn't a complete lie anyway. His first order as the newly appointed king is for the leader of the guild, Cho Dio-kun, to dismiss all of his subordinates as they need to have a private conversation. What is this top secret conversation even going to be about? Kang-woo tells him to stop pretending that he is the great Andros, when he clearly isn't. Only he is allowed to ask the questions today. Beginning with his first question, Kang-woo asks him how he learned to create a crack in magic from the magic stones. Cho answers by telling him about a guy who approached him to preach the demonic religion. Kang-woo hits him after hearing this, but Cho continues that the guy was powerful enough to take over their guild in an instant. They had no choice, as they would have died if they refused to follow his orders. It is a pretty difficult situation to be in. However, he reveals that he hasn't seen the guy ever since, and all the orders arrive by mail. Kang-woo thinks about what to do. He could just leave them to their cult, however they know how to get to hell. He can't overlook this fact, obviously, so he demands to see the mail from the mysterious guy. He's shocked to find just one letter where the guy has only instructed Cho to accept the demonic energy and find as many players as possible. And all of this is just to turn Earth into hell, which sounds terrifying. Kang-woo wonders if there are other people who have been preached to. Surely Cho isn't the only one who is helping them increase their forces. Kang-woo is furious about the fact that all these demons want to turn Earth into hell. He doesn't want to live in hell, yet again. In all of his anger, he tells Cho to investigate this demonic religion and not to perform any more of these demonic ceremonies. And most importantly, he has to keep this conversation a secret. He decides to find out more about this religion, and get to the bottom of it before returning back to Han, since it has been quite a rough day for him. Han has been worried about him since he left for the gate a long time ago, and hasn't even been answering her calls. He thanks her for worrying about him, and is delighted to find out that she is cooking kimchi stew. He is happy to get a delicious dinner every day. She also tells him that she got her second awakening, with a special ability called the Blessing of Light. At this rate, they will be a powerful group if they form a team with Tae-soo. She wants to help Kang-woo with her new rank, instead of joining a guild. However, her heart breaks when he tells her that he doesn't need her as of now. He assures her that they will eventually form a team and enter a high-ranked gate together one day. She agrees to meet the tanker he has suggested and form a team with him. Hearing this, Kang-woo happily enjoys his kimchi stew and promises to protect this Earth with his ramen toppings. The next day at the player support center, Kang-woo isn't really pleased to know that his C-rank card will come in a day. What is he going to do while he waits for the card? He hasn't had a full day's rest since he came back on Earth, so he obviously doesn't know what to do when he's bored. He doesn't want to spend his time on webtoons and novels, so he decides to come up with something better. He has to enjoy his time back on Earth, so he walks into a PC room. He gets excited to see that he can even order food here. Ramyun will surely taste the best in this PC room. He searches for some games and starts playing the most popular game, in which he gets gold for every time he kills a monster. Doesn't sound too hard, does it? He starts enjoying his games while eating his delicious ramen. He wins the game with his skills, and another player behind a PC is screaming out loud. She seems to be really upset and starts lashing out at Kangwoo, who is really confused. She starts hitting him, and he doesn't know what to do about her as she asks him to step outside. She asks him if he's been sent by the Mirror Guild as she prepares to punch him one more time. The angry girl is still asking Kangwoo all the questions about his identity and his relationship with the Mirror Guild. She doesn't believe that he isn't in a guild, while she is about to accidentally reveal the name of her own guild, as she is supposed to keep it a secret. Obviously, she gets excited easily. Meanwhile, Kangwoo has moved to the counter to ask for the bill, as he clearly can't deal with her crazy theories right now. She isn't going to let him leave easily, as she thinks he is an A rank until he shows her his D rank card. It is kinda hard to believe that Kangwoo is a beginner, as he displayed some really impressive skills. Kangwoo steps out really impressed by the stranger he argued with at the PC room, as she displayed skills similar level as him, making him wonder about her identity as well. In the meantime, the red-haired stranger has called up her guild's HR services to find out more about Kangwoo. She isn't going to let him go off easy, as she has seen his D rank card and thinks that he has obviously faked a lower rank card. Her ego seems to have gotten hurt after their little fight. She thinks that Kangwoo can only be the manager or the leader of the demonic religion with his superior skills, which would mean that the members of this religion are starting to get serious. On the other hand, Kangwoo was also disappointed, as this day was supposed to give him a break, but apparently he shouldn't hope for rest at all and go to the C rank gate as soon as he gets his player card. The red-haired stranger wants to maintain her position as the strongest and highest ranked player, but can't let Kangwoo take it away from her. She is so furious at him that she promises to find him somehow and deal with him as soon as possible. Kangwoo has arrived at the C rank gate and is curious to see that there are trolls here, but he knows that he has to hunt whatever he finds inside quickly. The guards tell him that he can only enter if he is in a party of 5, which is hard for Kangwoo since he prefers to work alone. However, solo play is forbidden inside this gate as the chief troll has appeared. How lucky is Kangwoo that all the boss monsters appear as soon as he gets his license? Kangwoo looks around at everyone and observes that the C rank gate definitely gives off a different vibe, as the equipment is much nicer and the security is stricter. He watches as all the other players are either preparing to fight the boss monster or backing off out of fear. He uses the power of rage on one of the human groups who aren't too sure about entering the gates, and influences one of the members to convince his teammates and the rest of the players to enter the gate with him to finish off the monsters. His tactic obviously works, as the man actually manages to get his team to agree on going inside and getting rid of the boss monster themselves. Sometimes, a little push over the edge works perfectly. The guards are astonished to find the players wanting to enter the gate, and request for approvals and confirmations from the head offices. Using all this chaos, Kangwoo has managed to enter the gate that looks like a desert, which looks completely different from the swamps of the earlier gates. He wonders if he can use the power of the sky to find the boss monster, as the desert is too vast to find him on foot. He decided to initiate the power after finding out his demonic stats, and uses the power of observation as well. He has finally found the leader of the trolls, but doesn't know what to do about the troll soldiers surrounding him. At this instant, all the players have entered the gate as well, fully charged to fight the trolls. Kangwoo can probably use them to his advantage, as he can have them take care of the soldiers. Kangwoo lures the trolls away, and hits the chief troll with full force, but he is absolutely amazed to find that the boss monster is defeated in just one hit, helping him gain 4 levels. Kangwoo wonders if the dead troll is really the boss monster of this gate, as the status window says. However, how can the chief troll be this weak? But he soon finds that the monster wasn't weak, Kangwoo is just too strong. It might be better if he changes his plans and attacks all of these trolls openly instead of being careful, and that's what he does. He starts fighting the trolls, promising to cut through all of them in one go. He wants to test his theory, and actually does manage to kill all of the trolls with one hit. At this rate, he will reach the highest rank in no time. Standing on top of the trolls' bodies, he uses the authority of predation to increase his demonic energy. After all, he needs his rewards after a hard day's work. Kangwoo gets his player card verified, while trying to get some information out of the government guard regarding the demon cult. However, the guard refuses to tell him anything useful, as it's their duty to carry out these investigations. Kangwoo has no choice but to agree, as the guard advises him to be safe and raise his levels in the D rank gate. He has to put up a straight face in front of her when the guard compliments him for his kind heart. He gives up trying to extract more information, and decides to go home, as he now knows that the government has started their investigation on the demon worshippers. He calls up Tae-soo, and makes plans to meet up soon with him. A few days later, Kangwoo brings Han to meet Tae-soo, since she is the healer he had told him about. Tae-soo obviously thinks that Han is too cute for her own good, and immediately agrees to take her to the D-rank gates to hunt. Han is embarrassed when Tae-soo calls him sister-in-law, but he makes her comfortable soon enough, asking about her traits in more detail. She elaborates on the Blessing of Light trait, which gives her the ability to use the buffs that raise strength, health, and dexterity. Her trait highly impresses Tae-soo, as healers like her are hard to come by. This makes Kang-woo excited about her traits as well, silently enjoying the fact that Tae-soo keeps calling her sister-in-law. Moving on with the business, Tae-soo tells him that he has found 2 incredible people for damage dealing, who are really talented even though they haven't entered any guild. Tae-soo takes great pride in his judgment of people. However, Kang-woo isn't too convinced, as he did trust that demon worshipper guy a few days back. Tae-soo promises to introduce the other 2 members to him the next day before entering the gates. Meanwhile, Han can only think about increasing her level as fast as possible, so she can go hunting with Kang-woo. Tae-soo makes plans with them to meet up the following day, informing them that they will be entering the gate to fight D-rank trolls, as they are a much better practice for beginners. He could be really intelligent sometimes for sure. Kang-woo leaves from there as he has to go hunt some trolls to increase his level, since he is on the 29th level and he only needs 1 more to go to his 4th awakening. In the gate, he is fighting off the trolls with ease when he smells human blood and thinks that there must have been a massacre. It might be the work of the Chaos players, instead of the trolls, so he immediately goes there. As he thinks about the person who caused this massacre, someone attacks him from behind and is shocked to come face to face with a Hellhound, the demonic monster from Hell. The Hellhound charges at Kang-woo, but he manages to dodge it as it looks real by how sturdy it is. How did he escape from Hell? Blades seem to be useless as Kang-woo tries to attack him, but doesn't find any success. He comes up with an alternate plan, and hits the Hellhound with full force as the dust settles all around it. The monster doesn't seem to be moving. Is it actually dead? Of course, it isn't that easy to get rid of it as Kang-woo has accidentally set a flag. He has to think fast or soon he will be dead. Deciding that he needs to create an opening, Kang-woo kicks the hound away and uses the authority of Earthquake to cause some real damage in his flesh, but there isn't any progress. The Hellhound is hell-bent on getting back on its feet. Kang-woo decides to show this monster its place and uses the authority of divine power, but the monster is just too persistent. Kang-woo is about to lose hope until he finally kills the monster, which has increased his levels and caused his 4th awakening. Kang-woo figures that all these beings from Hell are referred to as cracks, but is unable to theorize exactly how the Hellhound made his way to Earth. It's not like the monster can use the weapons of the 7 princes like Kang-woo did. What even is the concept of a crack, and is it referring to Hell in the first place? There are too many questions and no answers. Kang-woo is glad that with his 4th awakening, he can finally fight some real dangerous monsters. He feasts on the demon, wanting to be even stronger than he was in Hell. He is about to head home, dreaming about some kimchi stew, when the red-haired stranger blocks his way, introducing herself as Cha Yeonju, and he can swear that he had heard this name at the player's support center. She has revealed herself to be the guildmaster of Red Rose, and she has investigated everything about Kang-woo, including his birth date and that he was missing for 5 years. It is quite confusing for her as he had an F rank when he started out and managed to reach C rank in a matter of weeks. Meanwhile, Kang-woo is amazed at the amount of information that the guilds have access to. Is there no concept of privacy anymore? Cha thinks that he has an immense talent for reaching this level, and wants to sponsor him, which is a financial support to help him level up faster. After mocking her for her video game tactics, Kang-woo inquires more about the sponsorship. Cha tells him that they will give him a temporary gate pass, allowing him to enter even A-rank gates, which sounds like a good enough deal to him. Moreover, they will offer him a team and low tax cuts if he sells his magic stones. She is even offering him a house and a car, which sounds too good to be true. In return, Cha just needs him to perform some tasks for their guild. Hearing all of this, Kang-woo accepts her offer, thinking that he can worry about the task they want him to do later. Kang-woo decides against asking her more about the commission's task, and agrees to get the equipment that Cha has to offer. She drives him to the guild house in her cool car, and Kang-woo can't believe that the girl roaming around in her sweats has such an expensive car. Kang-woo agrees for her to get him the same car, and they finally reach the guild house, which is as awesome as the car. Exactly how much money does this guild have? He meets some of the other guild members inside the house, where the commander-in-chief Moon isn't too trustful with him. Cha leads them to the guild storage room, where Cha tells him that he can only borrow the epic rank equipment but has to pay a deposit to borrow the others. Of course, he doesn't have millions to pay the deposit for legendary ranked equipment, so he has to settle for the stuff he can get for free. Young-hoo isn't happy with him for not using respectable titles for the guildmaster, and gets even angrier when Kang-woo refuses to do so to his face. Young-woo and Kang-woo are about to face off against each other when Cha stops them. This is not the moment to act like children, and she warns them both to be civil. After dealing with Yang Wu, Cha assures Kang Wu that she will bring up his request of borrowing a unique rank equipment in their meeting. Kang Wu asks for a chest armor, and Yang Wu challenges him to a fight, offering his own chest armor if he gets defeated. Kang Wu thinks that this proposal is good enough, even though Yang Wu is level 67 and has surpassed the 6th awakening. Kang Wu seems to have a death wish if he wants to fight this beast. In the sparring room, Kang Wu feels confident enough in his abilities and charging right at Yang Wu, causing him to cough up blood. Yang Wu was actually surprised at his talent since he would have died if it wasn't for his armor. Kang Wu was happy that it didn't even take him 3 seconds to defeat the supposed mighty player. Yang Wu isn't ready to accept his defeat and believes that Kang Wu is playing dirty tricks on him since he has only been a player for 3 weeks. He's clearly whining because things didn't go his way. Kang Wu mocks him, which angers Yang Wu even more, leading to an intense fight. Kang Wu uses the authority of darkness, distracting him while he finally defeats Yang Wu by using the authority of waves. Cha is apologetic and promises that Yang Wu will be kicked out of the guild, but Kang Wu doesn't mind as he has won the armor he was after. Of course, it's all thanks to Yang Wu, who is so blind in love that he bet such a precious piece of equipment just to feed his ego. He gives her the equipment for the altercation and leaves from there. This leaves Cha alone with her thoughts, wondering if Kang Wu is actually a human. He might just become a world ranker soon, as not even the strongest player in Korea has been able to achieve this position. Her thoughts are interrupted by the arrival of Park Hyun-woo, the team leader of personnel management who is informed about Yang Wu's stupidity and dismissal. Park has some other information regarding the government spy within the demon cult, so they can find out more about their operations, which grabs Cha's attention. Kang Wu is sitting alone at night, looking at his player stats. He figures that his demonic energy keeps growing along with his other stats. It's not like these abilities make him smarter anyways, right? He doesn't like that his demonic energy isn't growing, despite crossing his 2nd awakening. Is it because his demonic energy is too high? However, he does look forward to reaching his 5th awakening soon. Suddenly, he remembers Han and Tae-soo and decides to go meet them. So, he goes to the East Incheon gate where Tae-soo is calling out to him with excitement. He really can be embarrassing sometimes. Tae-soo introduces him to the other 2 players he has added to his team, which include a handsome guy named Kim Si-hoon and a little brat named Choi Eunbi. Choi is evidently frustrated at being called a brat by a man in his 40s and shifts her focus to Kang Wu and Han, wanting to take a few selfies with the pretty Han so she can show off to her friends later. On the other hand, Kim tells Kang Wu that he is a level 12 and has surpassed his 2nd awakening recently, with a special ability in A rank. He is a warrior class, and Eunbi is a mage with a B rank special ability. Kang Wu is impressed with the gorgeous boy, who is too polite and sensible. Plus, he must be really talented if he got an A rank. Of course he has the main character energy. Kang Wu agrees that theirs is a hard carry party, with bright individuals, and decides to tag along with them for today's hunt. He only plans on stepping in to save them if things get really dangerous, and they start entering the gate. They are in the middle of an intense face-off with the trolls, and the whole party fights marvelously with amazing skills. Kim is one of the best fighters and impresses Tae-soo a lot. However, Kang Wu steps down from the tree he had climbed to watch them and begins to tell them what they could fix in a combat situation. Kang Wu begins by telling Tae-soo that he tries to do everything with his strength, even though he has good senses and is capable of distracting the monsters. He should start acting like a tanker who has to endure the attacks and throw the monsters off. Secondly, he praises Han for her strategy, but advises her not to use her special ability so easily the 2nd time. She is a healer who doesn't want to attract extra attention from the monsters anyway. Thirdly, Eunbi used a powerful spell with firepower. He instructs her to knock out the monsters with a weak attack the next time and save her lightning power. As for Kim, Kang Wu tells him that he is doing his job flawlessly, as of now. But how? He doesn't have 10,000 years of experience like Kang Wu. Can he possibly be a real genius? They move on and come across another group of trolls to fight. Kang Wu is observing them again and is shocked to see them doing so well. They may be able to attempt C-rank gates in a month if they keep going like this. They spot a demon wolf just when Tae-soo starts to celebrate their victory. The demon monster is too powerful for the party and is about to kill Kim when he is saved by Kang Wu at the last moment. Everyone is highly impressed with Kang Wu and his ability to deal with the monster with a single blow, but he believes that Kim is abnormally powerful for his own good. Kang Wu is curious, so he looks at Kim's stats and finds out that he is a martial arts god. He just may be the hero who is destined to become the protector. Kim is literally the main character. Is this why his swordsmanship was that exceptional? Kang Wu believes that he may turn out to be dangerous for him, but he surely can't miss out on a precious gemstone like this. He thinks about his options where he surely can build a friendship with him by giving him full-blown support like Cha did with him. But what if he turns his sword against him one day? It turns out that despite being so talented, Kim doesn't want to join a guild either, and he has an especially complicated relationship with the Mir Guild. Soon, the party decides to call it a day, and return back to the gate where Kang-woo tells them that he won't be coming along with them on their hunt the next day. Back at the gate, Kang-woo asks Han to find her own way back home, since he has something to take care of. She promises to reheat his dinner whenever he returns, which is enough to make him have hard eyes. Soon, he finds Kim and leads him back to an alley to have a private conversation. The next moment, he starts hitting Kim, asking him to be his true companion. Using the authority of subordination, he gives Kim the access to using his powers when he becomes his familiar spirit. However, Kang-woo makes sure that he forgets everything that has happened between them right now. Sometime later, Kim wakes up with a gasp, not knowing how he got here in the back alley. It is finally revealed that his only desire is to murder Kim Yang-hoon, the vice master of the Mir Guild. Kang-woo is glad to see that Kim's soul subordination was a success, but he has no intention of enforcing his authority over Kim yet. He only made him his subordinate for insurance purposes, and expects Kim to train harder and get stronger. The next moment, he has to pick up a call from Cho, who has called Kang-woo to reveal that she has found a trace of demonic energy which wasn't created by a human. Can it be a demon who created it? The demon is apparently at the B rank gate, and this makes Kang-woo's mouth water instantly. Surely, it will help him level up a lot faster, and he might reach his 5th awakening earlier than he thought. About to reach the gate, Kang-woo finds out that the players aren't being allowed inside, since there is a monster mutation which has killed around 10 players. Kang-woo wonders which demon has caused all this chaos. He figures that it's a Buer, which is one of the strongest predators from the second hell. Furthermore, it resembles a lion and has 5 legs. Apparently, the monster has a full stomach after eating 5 times. He calls Cha so she can use her government contacts to let him go into the gate, and promises her that he isn't going to die so easily. He is soon granted entry as the investigator of the mutated monster, and every other player thinks that he is from the Red Rose Guild. Of course, Mir Guild can't let such a good opportunity go, so Kang Sung-soo arrives with his team to enter the gate as well. Is this ponytail guy famous? Kang starts to mock Kang-woo for coming here alone with a death wish, offering to include him in his team while entering. Kang-woo gladly accepts his offer, and counts his teammates, who are 6. He only needs 5 heads for the Buer to reach its full stomach state, so maybe they can decide who gets to live. Kang had earlier called up the Vice Master Young-hoon, giving him updates about Kang-woo. The Master instructed him to humiliate the Red Rose Guild's special recruit, which is why Kang has been mocking him. But his plan has clearly backfired, after Kang-woo accepts his proposal of going in as one team. The crowd gets excited watching the 2 guilds cooperating for the first time, and the reporters are ready with their headlines for the next day. The team has entered the gate, where the Mir Guild team continues to try and humiliate Kang-woo, while also obsessing over their Vice Master Young-hoo. Young-hoo and his father awakened as players 5 years ago, who leveled up quickly and founded the Mir Guild. They must be swimming in money, as all the guilds are fully loaded. Kang-woo is silently looking for Buer, while the rest of the team keeps gossiping. He finally spots the demon that is lurking about, so he assumes that it hasn't reached the full stomach state yet. It really is a huge relief for him. Kang-woo uses the power of temptation, and everyone starts smelling something extremely appetizing. He hopes that the Buer will be able to smell it from far away as well. The whole team prepares for battle, as they hear the mutated monster approaching while they advise Kang-woo to stay in a corner. It makes Kang-woo extremely happy when the Buer manages to eat one of them. Now, he just has 4 more to go. They are in battle positions, but one by one, everyone starts falling prey to the demon. Kang's powers are useless in front of the monster, and the monster achieves its full stomach soon enough. Everything has gone exactly according to Kang-woo's plan. Kang-woo knows that the demon won't move after achieving full stomach level, until it is attacked first. He must launch an attack strong enough to kill it in one shot, so he utilizes the power of the Dark Spear with the power of Hellfire. Kang watches while Kang-woo defeats the mutated monster with a single blow, and raises his level by 6. Furthermore, his demonic stat has reached Extreme Demonic Delay, which sounds like something straight out of a martial arts novel. It turns out that demonic delay is the first stage of becoming a demonic god. This is when he finds out that Kang's the one who's been left alive, and has seen everything that Kang-woo has done to defeat the demon. After a few seconds of torture, Kang reveals Young-hoon's name, saying that he was rejected by Cha, which is why the Vice Master hates the Red Rose Guild. He looks at Young-hoon's picture, and Kang-woo thinks that he resembles Kim a lot. However, for now he has a task for Kang, which he has to perform if he wants to live. Sometime later, the two of them come out of the gate, with Kang looking extremely injured. Kang-woo tells everyone that the monster was defeated by Kang, telling the details about their little adventure, with of course a few lies added. Due to huge publicity, Kang becomes a local star, but soon enough, his injuries catch up to him and he slips into a coma. Cha is looking at Kang's pictures, and it's obvious to her that he was beaten up by another person, rather than a monster. It turns out that she is sitting with Jong-hyun-ju, the Sonare Guildmaster, and they discuss the demonic order, who are more active than ever currently. Kang-woo interrupts them at the perfect time and gets introduced to Jeong, who leaves after flirting with him for a while. Alone now, Cha gives him the S-rank permit he asked for and instructs him to not go hunting there. Kang-woo reveals that he overheard their conversation about the demonic cult, when Cha tells him that they have been guaranteed a handsome reward in exchange for defeating the cult. However, she is also after this cult since a lot of the guild members were also sacrificed in their sick rituals. He can sense her murderous intent just by looking at her. She continues by asking him if he will fight alongside her when they get a hold of the demonic order. Kang-woo accepts graciously since he wants more demonic energy. She ends their meeting by letting him know that he is expected to help them out with tracking down the cult. Later that day, Kang-woo is driving away in his new car when he finds out that he can summon a demon from another dimension every 3 months as a special ability. He wants to save this ability to summon a powerful demon from a higher ranked gate, which is obviously the S-rank gate. He gets out of the car and is standing in front of the S-rank gate and finally manages to enter it. He finds this gate to be different, since it's near an ocean, which could be a great vacation spot. He begins activating his special ability, creating a crack in order to complete the summon. He starts to see a green hue, and gets scared thinking that he might be transported back to hell instead. However, he is shocked to find out that he has successfully summoned a demon called Echidna, who is a dragon. Kang-woo is extremely confused when a group of people land in front of him, speaking in a completely different language. They even look like they popped out of a fantasy world with the way they're dressed. He uses the power of communication to understand their language, and one of these strangers introduces himself as Reynold, a prince of the Arnon Empire. By now, the dragon has collapsed and it looks like it's dead. Kang-woo doesn't have any idea about this empire, but notices that this prince is an elf, and another one of them is a dwarf. Have they actually come from another world? Since he can't let a demon he summoned die so easily, Kang-woo uses the power of resurrection to wake the dragon up from the dead. The fantasy group is furious to find out that he is the demon dragon's master, and they threaten him. They reveal that Echidna is an evil demon who has caused a disastrous drought and plague, because of which countless citizens of the Empire have lost their lives. However, Echidna maintains that she is innocent, but Reynold wants the demon dragon to die this instant. Kang-woo isn't going to let them kill Echidna, since she is his familiar now. Hearing this, Reynold promises to kill Kang-woo as well as his dragon slave, and launches an attack on him. Kang-woo is soon outnumbered, and is unable to defeat Reynold as easily as he thought. The prince is just too strong, and is about to win until Kang-woo uses his hidden blade against him. Reynold knows the fight is lost, and asks the rest of his team to save their lives and escape. Kang-woo is about to kill Reynold, when a girl called Reina steps between them, asking him to kill her instead since Reynold is the hope of countless Arnon citizens. She also confesses that she is in love with him. Is this really the most romantic place to do this, though? Kang-woo is too cold to fall for all this emotional drama, and is about to kill all of them until the Gaia system removes the whole group and they disappear. Echidna thanks him for saving his life, and he begins to heal her wounds, after which he asks her about the Eleanor continent. Echidna reveals that the continent is a different world, and that the Arnon Empire is its biggest country. They use swords and magic, and it's a world filled with fairies, monsters, and dragons. Does this mean that all the non-demonic monsters are from that continent? Kang-woo drives back home, with little Echidna in his lap, where she tells him that her father left her alone and maintains she never caused any of the hardships that Reynold accused her of. He looks at her and remembers his childhood in an orphanage, so he decides to believe her. The next instant, Han is grabbing Echidna as she looks too adorable, scaring the little dragon a lot. Kang-woo wakes up in the morning, feeling strangely tired, and is dumbstruck to find Echidna looking like a human girl. It is evident that she is able to change her appearance. He wonders if she can change back to her original form, and she starts transforming into her enormous dragon form, causing a huge destruction in Han's home. Han makes plans for them to go shopping with Echidna. However, Kang-woo refuses to go since he is busy somewhere else. He soon reaches the headquarters of the Red Rose Guild, where he reveals all of his adventures to Cha, including the summoning of the dragon and the fantasy people from the Eleanor continent. Cha can't believe that he actually summoned a dragon as his familiar. Who is he exactly? The next instant, the Harang Corps commander, Baek Hee-won, walks in to meet Cha and introduces herself to Kang-woo. She is the person he met in front of the C rank last time. Cha is helpless when Kang-woo asks for an official S rank entrance pass. He believes that he can go hunting there if he brings his familiar with him, which confuses Baek, who remembers that he was hunting at the C rank gate just a few weeks ago. She can't believe that he wants to go hunting in such a dangerous gate, but she obviously isn't aware of his abilities. Cha agrees to his demands and tells him that he can go hunting in the S rank gate starting from the next day. The two women talk about the demonic order after Kang-woo leaves. It is revealed that one of their members has infiltrated the demonic order, who told her that he will give her a video clip as compelling evidence at the contact point. The contact point is the following day at Suwon, Hueso Station, which is near the S rank gate that Kang-woo wanted to hunt at. Han asks Kang-woo to be careful with Echidna on their hunting trip, and they both leave for the S rank gate. Inside the gate, Kang-woo instructs Echidna that she can't go near the lake since there's a dangerous monster in it and that she is supposed to assist him when he drags the monster out. Lastly, he tells her not to transform into her original form. They surely don't want to draw unnecessary attention to themselves. Kang-woo uses his ability to find the giant ogre and uses the power of temptation to trap it. He attacks the ogre with the power of 1,000, but is dumbstruck to see that the ogre hasn't even moved from its place. It is an S-rank monster after all. He continues to fight the monster, but is unable to completely overpower it until Echidna uses her skills to help him. He's glad to have her as an assistant, and uses the power of thunder and lightning to finish off the ogre. This is when they spot a shadow above them, and find wyverns about to attack. Looks like they got their attention with the battle. He picks up Echidna in his arms, ready to retreat since there are a lot of these wyverns here. He uses the power of the sky. However, the wyverns keep following them until they rip a part of Echidna's dress, which makes her extremely furious. She can't help but turn into her original form as a dragon, as she feels angry for the dress that made her look so pretty. The wyverns are no match against this ferocious dragon, and Echidna manages to defeat them. Is this the same Echidna that nearly lost her life to those fantasy people? Kang-woo wonders if she is even stronger than him. Echidna, the dragon, is extremely tired after fighting off all the scary wyverns and is resting in Kang-woo's arms. She has finally opened her eyes, but it seems like she has used too much of her strength. It turns out that she lost consciousness as soon as she finished her transformation from the dragon to being a girl. A dragon that turns into a girl. How cool does that sound? However, she only seems upset about ruining her new dress. Well, they can always buy her more. Surely there are plenty of other clothes that will suit her. Kang-woo doesn't want to spend time discussing fashion though, and wants her to stop transforming into her original form without permission. He does hate people who can't control their temper. Thankfully, she promises that she will never do such a thing again, and now they can talk about buying more clothes. Kang-woo can't believe that she was able to eliminate so many wyverns on her own, and has discovered that Echidna can use greater power by using his demonic energy. They can use this to their advantage for sure. This is when he hears the noise of two giant ogres and prepares to fight them all on their own. But two guys slash them into pieces, which Kang-woo doesn't seem to appreciate. These weird guys are full of themselves, since they believe that they have helped the tired Kang-woo from getting beaten up by these ogres. It appears that Kang-woo knows them, as both of them are the masters of different guilds. The black-haired one's name is Che, and the blonde one's name is Baek. They're definitely not twins though. Kang-woo wants to go unnoticed, but what are the chances that he runs into two guild masters at the same time? Baek offers to escort a seemingly tired and alone Kang-woo to the gate, since he believes that he's a clueless new player. Wait till they hear about Kang-woo being a demon god. He rejects their offer, as they seem way too clingy and arrogant, bringing Echidna outside by himself. It has been an eventful day for them, and a little shopping trip looks like a perfect way to end the day. He uses the map on his phone to find the fastest route to the shopping mall, and starts walking with Echidna still in his arms. All seems to be going well, until Echidna smells human blood from an alley and tells Kang-woo about it. It's time for the injured guy's backstory, who had successfully managed to infiltrate a demon cult, and found out that these cult followers were way crazier than everyone thought. He had managed to record footage containing shocking information and managed to send a request for a meetup at his base. However, the cult members caught his tail, which is why he's now on the brink of death, running for his life so he can give the chip that contains proof to Big. When Kang-woo and Echidna catch up with him, the man gives the chip to him, asking for it to be delivered. He dies before specifying who the chip is supposed to be given to, which is extremely inconvenient for Kang-woo. What's this chip even supposed to contain? This situation is extremely confusing for Kang-woo, since he has a dead body in front of him and a mysterious chip in his hand. He is too curious to not find out, so he uses his power Omniscient. He finds out that the dead man has reached his 6th awakening, which is quite impressive, and figures that he must be a skilled player. He's sure that this man hasn't come from the S-rank gate, but finds a video clip in the memory chip. He looks a bit disappointed since he is expecting something more. However, he is extremely shocked to discover that the video clip contains porn. Is this what he died for? Maybe he's missing something here and decides to watch the clip more closely. It must be a different experience watching such a video for the first time, while trying to hide its content from Echidna. She is a kid after all. He tells her that he's watching crucial evidence, which is not entirely a lie. However, soon a few men with creepy red masks appear in front of them. Is it Halloween already? The creepy masked men don't want to let Kang-woo live since he has watched the video on the chip. Has watching porn become such a huge sin since he returned back to Earth? The masked guys are talking about the value of the video, which is too baffling for Kang-woo. But he knows one thing, that they are surely trying to steal this chip back. He isn't going to let them take away the first porn clip he's watched in over 10,000 years, which is why they prepared to kill him. Their attack puts him into action, and Kang-woo uses the power of the iron wall and the power of the speed and seriously injures the masked guys. They're aware that Kang-woo will kill them at this rate, so they decide to use all of their powers. They use their demonic energy, which makes Kang-woo realize that they are from the demonic cult. Obviously, no one else would be weird enough to roam around with these masks. They start transforming their bodies into demons, but Kang-woo is the best man to deal with them anyway. Therefore, he hits them with all of his power until it's too late for them to run away. Finally, he is standing beside all of their lifeless bodies and begins to watch the video clip again to understand all this hype behind it. Soon, he finds Cha there with her other guild friend who seems to be looking for a memory card containing a video clip. Of course, everyone seems to be looking for the chip he's holding, so he gives it to them. What are they going to do with this useless clip? Kang-woo is still shocked that Cha wants to see the video right now, but he gives it to her. He's secretly hoping Cha isn't asking for porn, and there must be something more to this video. He is good with her watching the video, until she asks him to join in as well. This is getting quite awkward, guys. Meanwhile, Hwaeyeon confirms that their undercover agent is dead, and begins questioning Kang-woo about what exactly happened before they arrived. Kang-woo tells them the whole story when Cha clicks on the video and loses her mind. She's sure that he has switched its content. Thankfully, his innocence is proven when Hwaeyeon tells her that they have to check the real content by using a video decryptor at headquarters. How messed up does their headquarters have to be to recommend this type of video as a cover-up? There are so many animal documentaries available online. Kang-woo has finally realized that the chip must contain evidence against the demonic cult, when Echidna steps in to defend Kang-woo against Cha. Now, he has to introduce her to them as his familiar, which is surprising since she looks like a little kid. Hitting the pause button to their awkward interaction, they decide to head over to the Suwon Station headquarters immediately to decrypt the video. Soon, they arrive at the headquarters where Hwaeyeon informs her team that their agent Dong-hoon has died in the line of duty and they should prepare to contact his family. She looks like she was born to be a soldier, to be honest. She orders her team to start decoding the video and asks to speak with General Chang, who can't have a talk with her since he's in Japan. This General Chang is the highest authority in the Corps and is so powerful that only Baek can face him. The demon cult is preparing for the summon within a few weeks. It looks like this red mask thing is their uniform, which is a questionable choice. Their cardinal hopes to get big rewards if things go successfully with their mission this time. They plan to keep this a secret as they suspect that there is a rat amongst them. This is where the original video ends, and Kang-woo figures that the Cardinals are the ones who recruit people to their cult. He starts deducing all the information he has seen, and concludes that firstly, there must be a higher authority than the Cardinal. Secondly, they are making preparations to summon something on Earth. And thirdly, there seems to be a big guild sponsoring them. Well, he has managed to get all this information after watching this video for just a few seconds. He's just too smart, isn't he? Their first order of business is clearly to investigate the big guilds. Of course, the Red Rose Guild can be exempted from the list of suspects. He comes up with a plan to bait the guilds, since the cult targets low-ranked players with high-ranked special abilities. They can start the rumor mill that there is an extremely talented player in the lower-ranked gate. They will act right away, not wanting to lose this player for sure. Kang-woo is sure that the cult will take the bait, as they cannot control their hunger for power. They decide to go ahead with his plan, and Kang-woo knows the perfect person who can act as their bait. Kangwoo is spying on Si-hoon, who is nursing her sick mother, and he isn't thrilled about it. He has to start living with main character energy, since the rumors have started spreading about him being the #1 rookie there. The online posts are picking up good engagement at a decent speed, and Park Hyun-woo has successfully managed to create this stir. Si-hoon might have just become a social media star. Kangwoo follows Si-hoon to C-Rank Gate, where he meets up with his raid party, which includes Han. Han seems upset that Kangwoo hasn't come home for a week, and is ignoring her texts as well. She figures that he doesn't enjoy her cooked meals anymore, or he must have found another girl somewhere. Yunbei tries to cheer her up, until Si-hoon asks her to stop overthinking everything. He suggests that they should train harder and become stronger in order to join Kangwoo in his raids. Therefore, they start entering the gate, all ready to hunt while Kangwoo has been keeping an eye on them the entire time. He knows that they have all reached level 20 with their 3rd awakenings, which is a totally great pace. However, he is sad to see Han so low. He needs his work to be over so he can spend some time with her and Echidna. Moving on, inside the gate, Si-hoon's team is trying to overpower the extremely strong troll until he steps in and defeats it with a few blows, using the dragon technique. When did these C-rank monsters become so strong? They have come a long way, as they are already able to hunt trolls within a month, thanks to Si-hoon, since no one ever expected him to be this strong. All this time, Kangwoo and his binoculars have been constantly watching them. He has the potential to be a great stalker. He is proud of them for using a smooth play with no wasted moves. This raid party has divided their work and coordinated well, so Kangwoo does not need to watch over them anymore. He's also wondering when the demon cult will make a move to recruit Si-hoon, since it's already been a week. This is when he finds 2 players who are high-leveled enough to take down a troll in a single attack. These players are running straight towards Si-hoon, which makes Kangwoo glad the cult has finally taken the bait. Will Kangwoo's bait plan be a success? How will Si-hoon react to being recruited by the demon cult? Will the government and the guild be successful at stopping the demonic order's scary plans for the world? I hope you guys found this recap enjoyable. Let's see what happens with Kangwoo and his allies on this strange mission. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our channel for more recaps. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another exciting recap.